Hey, what's up? It's always me, Johnny, and today we're gonna talk about the camera side on this big phone right here. That is the Mi 11 Ultra, and finally I shoot this video for you because I know it is very interesting, and actually it was very interesting to do also for me. So this phone have a lot to say on the camera side, but I'm gonna stick to the essential and the most important things to see on this phone actually. So as I always do on my videos of this type, I always talk about first of the photo side on this phone, and actually after that I will talk about the video side. But first of all, let's talk about the hardware that this phone has in the back, because you can see right here that it has of course a big bump in the back. So we have pretty much three sensors, as we can see right here, three big sensors actually. Of course we have also the LED light too, that probably no one uses. I mean, at least if you are taking some photos, I only use it for torch. And actually you have three sensors, as I was saying, and one of that is the periscope module that you can see in the back. And the main one is a new sensor by Samsung. It's called like GN sensor, and it is very big, as you can see of course, and actually it is an half of an inch, so very big for a smartphone. You have to consider that the pocket cameras right now, so those cameras that they are very small, but they have like a nice and decent sensor. They have like a sensor of an inch, and this one is just an half of it. So you understand that this is a very good thing for a smartphone. Then you have the other two sensors that they are technically the same. So we have two IMX Sony sensor, so pretty much the standard one that you can find on most of other good phones, and they are both of 48 megapixel, so a nice amount of megapixel. And for the last, you have of course the front-facing camera, and there you have like a 20 megapixel sensor that you can find pretty much in every smartphone right now. So let's leave this boring stuff and let's talk about the important thing. So how this phone takes photos. They are good, they are bad, who knows? So I'm gonna tell you right now how it is. And actually, in my opinion, yes, the answer is yes. I mean, for me, it takes really good photos. And actually for now, we had only the S21 Ultra with these capabilities. I mean, with all the zoom feature and the good cameras and the very good quality picture. But this one is very similar, and for some aspects it goes also beyond. So very good, but let's talk about that. So let's start talking about the super wide angle, and it is very good. As I said before, it is a good sensor actually. 48 megapixel, it is a very good resolution for a super wide angle in my experience, because of the phone that I've tried since I have this channel. These sensors are just the best for the super wide angle, and actually here it is very good too. I think it is for sure one of the best on the market, and it is very comparable to the OnePlus 9 Pro sensor that is actually 50 megapixel. I don't know if it's actually the same sensor, but the image quality, it is very good in both of the phones. As I said, the images are very clear, are very crispy, they have good resolution, and actually the only thing that I've noticed, it's not only on this phone, but it is pretty much on every phone, that when you switch in the super wide angle mode, the white balance tends to be like a little bit warmer. So this isn't a problem, of course, because you can easily fix it in post, but it is something to just keep in mind, of course. And also, we can say that this super wide angle, it is one of the most wide in the market on the smartphone that you can find right now. So it is very good, because if it is a super wide angle lens, it's better be like super wide. So that is a very good thing. Then the 5x zoom, that is the periscope module, it is very good too, because it is of course the same sensor, and actually it has a good resolution. And also, if you are shooting like until the range of 20 or 30x, you have like good looking photos. Of course, if you are shooting in good light condition, if you are shooting at night, you will probably miss all the details. Here, you don't have like any major white balance shift, so you can go easy on that. And actually, if you like taking zoom photos, this is I think the phone for you, because it goes up to 120x zoom, and of course you cannot use the maximum zoom photos because the quality is crap. But if you want to use just the photo for reference, maybe if you want to look like an object or something in the long distance, I mean, you can do it, and it is a pretty cool feature. Then we have finally the main sensor, and I don't want to say that it is another world, but indeed it is another level of photography, because with this big sensor you can take like very good pic, and they will look very natural, because you have a really nice bokeh that pretty much any photographer loves, because it is not digital, because actually due to the big sensor it is actually very natural, so it gives you this natural look on the photo, especially if you are doing like portrait of people or maybe also object. You have a pretty good blurry background that seems like that the photos are not taken by the smartphone, but with maybe a compact camera or a nice camera, actually maybe a mirrorless like this one, for example. Also here the color and the white balance are on point, and if you are using HDR, I have it on automatic, it is working very good. It is not too soft, but it isn't also too aggressive, so it's working very good. Lastly, we have the front-facing camera, of course, that it is a decent camera. I mean, you can take good selfie with it, but the fact that you can take like selfies with the rear cameras because you have this small screen right here doesn't help to make and use more the front-facing camera. Actually, when you are taking selfies, you probably tend to use also the rear cameras, because I mean, you are taking selfies with this quality, and it is very good. It is a very cool feature. Also in photo mode, you have pretty much any of the standard modes that you can find in the usual Xiaomi phones. So you have maybe super moon, you can shoot in 50 megapixel, you can shoot like in pro mode, you can shoot also in RAW if you are using Pro Mode. There is actually a DNG file that you can edit maybe in post-production if you are used to, and if you want to do more of a color correction or color grading on a photo that you have taken. So talking about the video side instead, we have pretty much the same behavior that we have with photo side. I mean, we have like the same good quality, we have the same good colors, and we have the same white balances. So overall, they are pretty much similar, and the only thing that we can add is actually a good stabilization when you're recording videos, and of course it is better if you are recording in ultra wide, because when you're recording in ultra wide and the stabilization is activated, actually the phone seems like it is on a gimbal, and if you are doing like some moving shots, it is very useful to have a stabilized sensor like this. Also, one thing that I never mentioned on any other review of these phones, it is the microphone quality. On some videos I've received some question on the microphone quality, and here actually we have a very good quality microphone. I mean, I was recording like a normal video with some people talking, and the audio quality was really great. I mean, definitely one of the best audio that I ever heard from a phone, and actually it seemed like that I was recording on a microphone, on an external microphone, and this thing is great. I never noticed the quality on other phones because they are pretty much at the same level, but this one, it is very good actually. Also on this phone you can shoot up to 8K with any sensor, so all the 3 sensors. And here too, finally, we can switch cameras while recording up to 4K 30 FPS. So if you're recording at 4K 60 FPS or maybe 8K 24 FPS, you cannot switch camera while recording. But if you're shooting in 4K 30 FPS or less, you can easily switch camera by dragging the slider on the phone and just switch lenses. This is a very good feature that I always wanted on Android phones. Actually, now more and more manufacturers are using this feature in the video side, and this is a very great thing. Of course, as I said, the quality is on top, especially if you are shooting with the main sensor, because you have the same bokeh that you have in photos, so very good and natural look on your videos. And of course, here too we have some other features that you can find on pretty much any Xiaomi phones. And actually you can find, for example, the Pro Video mode, and in the Pro Video mode you can shoot also in log. So if you are used to color grade or just color correct your footage better in post-production, just shoot in log. Or something that it is more uncommon in reviews, because I didn't see yet any reviews that talked about this feature, that it is shooting in super slow motion. Because I mean, shooting in super slow motion, pretty much any phone right now you can shoot in slow motion, and actually they claim it is super slow motion, but here you can shoot in really super slow motion, because you have like 1920 FPS in 1080p, so full HD. It is really cool. I mean, it is not actually as it was shooted in a professional camera with those FPS, but I mean, you have it. It is pretty cool to have it, and if you want to use it, if you want to have fun with some videos, you have it right there. And actually, what other phone can shoot this crazy amount of FPS? I mean, I think nobody. Then I'm gonna throw some conclusion, because I think this video is getting too long maybe. And so I can say that, as I said also in my first impression video, this is a real ultra phone. I mean, it does pretty much anything, and it does it really good. So it is a real ultra phone. And you have, of course, software issues that they will probably fix it in later updates, but for now we still have some bugs. But other than that, and if you consider only the camera side on this smartphone, it is a very good smartphone, and it takes great photos, it takes great videos. So it's like having a very good pocket camera with also a very good microphone, because don't forget that, because it is very important. Pretty much you can use any lens, because you can go from super wide angle to like super zoom very easily. This is a very good feature. So if you were looking for an S21 Ultra competitor, I think you found one, because this one, it is very similar, and actually in some ways it is better, and in some other the S21 is better. So I cannot tell you that this one is better than the S21 Ultra, because it is going to be like a personal preference, because one is doing something better in some field and the other is doing some better things in other fields. So they are very similar phone but very different. So as I said, it is pretty much a personal preference. But one thing that I can say, that they are both very good phone. Of course, you have to consider that all of this, it comes with an high price. So if you want to buy this phone, or maybe if you want to buy another ultra phone, you have to consider that you have to spend a lot. So think a lot if it is worth buying it or maybe not. But for this one in specific, what I can say is that if you like Xiaomi phones, this one is probably the best one overall, because it has pretty much everything, and it has everything maxed out. So you have very good screen, you have audio quality, you have pretty much top-notch camera and all of that. But in my opinion, you have to wait for some software updates, because you have several bugs here and there. I mean, they are not big issue that won't let you use the phone and enjoying it, but they have some bugs. And if I have to pay like a phone this price, I want it like almost perfect. I don't know if it's only me, but I want to spend my money like wisely. But anyway, I think for now that's it, because I'm talking too much in this video. So if you like this video, just hit a like button down below to support this channel and to let me know that you like my work. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, just consider doing it right now, because it will be very much appreciated by me. And of course, if you have something to say, something to add, if you want to ask some question, just type it down below in the comment section. And also, thank you for watching this video, and I think I will see you in my next one. Bye for now.